Ladies and gentlemen, the King of Lightning, here today. Oh man. Well, Shingeki no Bahamut's over. And before I get started, I gotta say that I wish I was more consistent when it came to this series. Because this series, I do find to be one of the best animes that came out this year, I'm not gonna lie. 2014. And because I've been so busy over the course of these past few months, I couldn't really be on top as I wanted to. And I regret that. I really do. But what I'm going to do in order to try and compensate, because this video is going to be pertaining to episodes 9 through 12. The series finale, episode 12. And then I'm going to do a series overview as soon as I can. To rewatch Shingeki no Bahamut shouldn't take that long at all. Now, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, these last four episodes were fantastic. Now, granted, there were some things that were a little bit weird. There were some things that could have been portrayed better. Some things that I found should have been incorporated more to the story. And honestly, like, this series should have been done on 24 episodes, not 12. But either way, I'll get to those details later. First of all, I do want to say that one of the key things that I found to be so impactful, so shocking, was the wrapping up of the characterization of Amira, where we find out that Amira was a fucking clone, and all of the memories she had of her mother, how her mother loved her, all those were falsified, and in fact, you have her real body, her original body, which she calls Mother, and then you have Amira herself, who's a clone created by Beelzebub, in order to be a conduit for the key to awaken Bahamut. And I'm like, what the fuck? And you find that out, and you're like, nah. And the way it went about, it was so sad. Because the entire journey was for her to go to Helheim, to go and see her mother. I mean, you even have Favreau say, when you hug her, she's gonna know that you are her daughter. She's gonna know. So even if it's been some time since she's seen you, and since your growth was accelerated because of the actions of Beelzebub and Martinet, then it's not gonna matter, because she's going to instinctively know. Her motherly instincts are gonna kick in and say, oh yeah, like, this is my daughter. But no, she's not even a daughter. She is the fucking clone. And apparently the angel, I forgot her name, that was in fact the original body that Amira stemmed from, was tortured for a period of years, constantly, and then like encased in ice, frozen. So the hatred that she had for the demons around her, and probably for Amira, who she saw being created from her own ego, must have been immense. The hatred, the rage. And to know that her mother, even in a sense, hated her, and she was tortured, and she creates like this weird barrier so she can separate herself from Amira when Amira's walking towards her. She's like, are you my mom? Please tell me you're my mom. And not saying a word, just powering up barrier, like, stay away from me. I was like, jeez. Yo, like, it was really heavy, man. That shit was heavy. It was like 3 tons heavy, man. Then she breaks through the barrier, hugs her, and then she knows, oh, this is Amira. And then she says Amira, and then the angel, she dies. She disappears. It was sad. It was very sad. It was very emotional. And it was such a well-played scenario, because it was the accumulation of God knows how many minutes of episode viewed, and having this major plot twist at the end, and the main villain being not even Beelzebub, just Martinet, just him, who's not even a demon, but he's like a human who has like modded his body, who has various types of concoctions, and he's been manipulating humans, demons, and gods alike. And I'm like, what the fuck? So let me go there. This guy, Marty, he's a freaking monster. He is able to not only is he able to sway the king into believing that Jeanne d'Arc is against him. He kills one of the individuals. I forgot what his name was. Like the second, like one of the other captains among the Illyrian Knights. And then you have him pose as Lavalley the entire time. He's Lavalley. He comes to the king's room. He supposedly finds blonde hair on the hand. The already manipulated king by him believes it's Jeanne d'Arc. She's accused of being a witch. The person who's constantly saved the kingdom is now accused of being a witch. Then she's in prison and continues to manipulate by making her believe that she's been forsaken by the angels, especially Michael. And then when she is burned at the stake, you have the citizens try and fight their way through the knights. The knights themselves are being ordered by the king to assassinate or to kill anyone who stands in favor of Jeanne d'Arc, in which the knights kill the civilians. Then she starts to question what is happening. How can this actually happen? Why are the innocent dying? Then Martinet, he creates these copies of the angels in the fire. So she's already under immense stress because she was in prison. She was accused of being a witch. She has these innocent folks dying in her name. He manipulates her towards the end, even at the very fucking end, when she's being burned alive. She takes his concoction after he successfully manipulates her. She actually becomes the witch that she was accused of. She becomes a demon. And she kills the very angels that she was supposed to serve. I'm like, yo, this dude. And that was just Jeanne d'Arc. I mean, this is way deeper. It's way longer. It's way more fucked up. And then there's Beelzebub, who he also manipulated. Beelzebub, he thought he had this shit in the fucking bag. No, so far from. You have episode 12, Bahamut, he's finally back, and you're like, oh shit, Bahamut. He's big black dragon, powering the fuck up, like, yeah. And Bahamut's like, angels, like, this war is over. We the demons have won. Demon kind. Remember my name. Etch that shit forever. Beelzebub, I stand alone. I stand alone. And then he's like, Bahamut, show them your power. Bahamut's like, yeah. Turn on him. Yeah, fire. I'm like, whoa. And fucking Martinet. Oh, this dude. So the entire time, he's the manipulator. He's the guy behind the scenes. And at the end of the episode, at the end of the series, it's him who gets manipulated and fooled, bamboozled by Favaro Leone. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man, that shit stunned me. I mean, we've always seen this characterization between Favaro and Kaiser, and it's been fantastic thus far. Fantastic. But at the end, when they have their final fight between each other, the fact that Favaro had to cut off Kaiser's arm just to pose in front of Martinet. And he's like, yo, let me give you some advice. He's like, fuck? I thought that you were under my spell. But no. When Kaiser shot him in the freaking chest with an arrow, he used some of the antidote that was given to him by Rita. And I was like, oh, fuck, genius. It was brilliant. It was fucking brilliant, man. It was goddamn brilliant. I was like, this is dope. This is shit. This is fucking shit in a good way, even though it's kind of weird. But it was just beautiful. Like the way everything panned out, the way everything flowed out. And it wasn't like, because I've seen so many damn anime. It's not like it's unique in the sense of what it is from a foundational standpoint, but it's the way they do it. It's how you do it that's gonna make you that's gonna separate you from the rest of the group, if you would. And the way they do it, the way they actually build the characterization of these characters, and the world building, and I'm not gonna lie to you, they go deep as fuck. When you have the character that we follow the most, well, second to most character, Amira, actually be a clone of an angel who was created by freaking Beelzebub, who was going behind the back of freaking Lucifer, who was himself being portrayed by Martinet, who was being controlled by everybody up until the end of the damn series, where he himself is being manipulated by Favaro Leone, who cuts off his best friend's arm just to trick him. Fuck, are you serious, dog? Like, nah. It's just, I was like, damn, like, fucking, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. This shit's dope. Man. It's so fucking good. Like, I cannot believe they played out the way they played out. And then on top of that, at the end of it all, before everything's said and done, you have the final episode, Rage of Bahamut. And I'm like, he's fucking OP. I mean, when you think about Bahamut, just, take a step back. Bahamut, the entire series, has pulled, like, the Beyond DBZ. He's been powering up for, like, 10 plus episodes. Powering the fuck up. And when he powers up, he's been killing angels, and he's been annihilating the entire area through just shockwaves and lightning. When he actually appears, the dude's levitating fucking land masses and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's annihilating everything. Literally everything. I'm like, yo, dude, Bahamut, chill. He's just like fighting, and the phasers didn't stop. He continued the phasers. He continued the destruction. The entire area, it didn't matter if you were demon or angel, if you're in his way, you got annihilated. I was like, fuck. My God, he was in a league of its own. And they were able to momentarily stop him because you had all the angels and all the demons coming together for like the first time ever. Well, no, since the old days of Satan and Zeus. And they pin him down. You have Gabriel, the current leader of the angels, and you have Lucifer, the current leader of the demons, come together. They do like their circles of barriers, so they pin him down for like a few seconds. This allows Favaro Leone and Kaiser, who just got his arm caught by his best friend, I mean, for the sake of the world, obviously, but it allows them to actually come in there and do what they have to do. And they have to kill Amira. I'm like, fuck. So, I mean, I really do feel bad for Amira. Because even though she does get closure, not only in the sense of being able to see and hug her mother, but also in the sense of, having someone like Favaro there, being someone to truly care about her. Like, I guess one of the few folks that really care about her. And send her off with that final kiss. The fact is that she died. She got killed by Favaro. I'm like, fuck. But it had to happen. It had to roll. Because Bahamut was literally annihilating everything. The mountains were gone in the surrounding area. The land masses in the sky, most of them were obliterated. This dude was firing like giant like energy waves to like other cities across the fucking world. I was like, is this dude serious right now? Like, he's fucking killing everybody. And he's just chilling in one spot. Like, yeah. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Yo, Baha. I don't mean like Baha sauce. I mean like, yo, Bahamut. Chill. What the damn? Now let me talk about the things that I feel are missing, or things that I felt were a little bit odd or random, and so on and so forth. So first of all, to get out of the way, Martinet, again, his characterization is fantastic in real time. However, we don't get like a legitimate full-on backstory of the character Martinet, which to me I think was, it's not necessary because his character, yeah, he has very good characterization real time, but I think a full-on flashback of his past and why he does the things that he does, because in a sense Martinet he's kind of like the Joker-esque character where he's one of those guys that wants to see the world burn. Like, and that's what he's doing. I mean, literally, you have him as Lavale, and he's trying to watch just Bahamut annihilate everything. He's trying to embrace the end of the world. He loves it. He gets off on it. And then you have Kaiser, he's clearly, really pissed. No doubt about it. Duh. The world's ending. And here he is trying to just cut him down. And he's like, please be quiet. I'm trying to listen to the world end. Shut up. Like, this is a huge occasion for me, man. Like, I love this. So, to find out why he operates the way he does, what was that catalyst back in the heyday when he was younger? Like, what happened? Like, again, I don't know. No one knows at this point in time. But that would have been good to find out. But it's not necessary because, again, his characterization is already phenomenal in the story in himself. Now, when it comes to... Okay, this was random as fuck. When they escape the capital, they wind up in some weird pocket dimension. And then, or like a pocket of space. And freaking, there's some giant, like, wood dragon. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, or like some giant forest dragon. Like, it was very strange. It was very weird. I didn't really understand what was going on there. Like, it just seemed very random. It seemed very forced in the story. Because when they talk to this guy, this dragon that lives in this forest that's in like a pocket space within the planet, or on the planet, he pretty much informs them that Bahamut, he's been around for like he's forever, like he's immortal. It's the first time this has happened. Apparently, like this happens like a few times every like thousands of years. He comes around, he annihilates everything, and then he leaves, and he comes back another like 1,000+ years later, like some shit like that. In a sense, Bahamut, he's like a calamity. He will like return. At the end of the series, you have Favaro. He's at some bar talking to some dude. And by the way, Favaro, he's now back being a bounty hunter. He's talking to some dude, and the dude said, when the hero of light, or like the Holy Knight, came down and he sealed Bahamut, he sealed him forever. And Favaro's like, no, like Bahamut, he's coming back. He's coming back. I mean, that's the way it is. So the story, it's strongly hinted that it will repeat itself. In fact, the last thing we see of this series is a very nice artwork of Amira and Bahamut, and basically it's those 3 words, I'll be back, and that's it. So this may hit at a sequel. I actually want to see a sequel. If they do a sequel, I'm down for that sequel. I'm down. But when it came to the dragon in that pocket space, it was weird as fuck. And it seemed very forced. And it was too damn convenient, truly. Also, Bahamut itself, it needs more. It really needs more characterization. Again, I explained how when it comes to a lot of the characters, Rita's characterization is very strong. It is. I like it. As the same thing applies for Bacchus. His characterization is not weak. It's okay. That also goes for Jeanne d'Arc, who has pretty good characterization. That also goes for Azazel. Beelzebub, not so much, but Martinet, I think he has the best characterization, aside from the fact that he has a iffy backstory, or it's in the fog at this point in time. Of course, you have the main characters, Kaiser, Favaro, and Amira. They have phenomenal characterization, my personal opinion. But the end-all, be-all guy, Bahamut, is in the dark, relatively speaking. Again, as far as we know, he is like a natural disaster. But like where he comes from and why does he go about destroying the world? Like what is he in the sense of like a species, like or entity? Like again, not too sure. Like he's just a giant black dragon that fucks up everybody in its wake. Demons, humans, angels, dragons alike. He is the end all. He's the big boy. So it's like, bro, like where do you come from? Like what do you like? Why do you do what you do? And that I think needs a lot more detail. So again, if there is going to be a sequel, that I'll be back. If there is going to be a sequel, hopefully we get more details on Bahamut itself, its origins, and its reasoning for why it does what it does. That simple. I mean, at this point in time, it looks like it's brainless and it just fires damn beams, but I highly doubt it. Now, we go on to something else I think should have been touched upon a lot better. Because you have fantastic world building. Don't get me wrong. The world building is phenomenal. You have all these different cities, all these different groups that are involved. You have, angels and demons and humans. Then you have, like, zombies. Then you have, like, fishmen. Then you have, like, subdivisions of demons and angels, and it's phenomenal the way they do it. And it was explained earlier that obviously when it came to the angels and humans, they have a stronger connection between each other, and that was clearly shown when you have the three angels, Michael, Raphael, and Uriel. They pretty much choose Jeanne d'Arc as like the maiden, like she's like the chosen one, the one who is prophesied by them to be the one to actually control Bahamut, the holy knight, if you would. Of course, winds up being Favreau at the end of the damn day. However, and then by the way, that scene where Favreau, he kisses Amira, and he's just like looking like really damn dorky, like he went plank status, like oh like that was funny, that was hilarious, like I can't deny it. And he then lost his leg in that giant explosion, so I was kind of fucked up. But it is what it is, because Kai's lost an arm. I guess he used a leg in return. But thing here is this, though. I wish they'd actually touched upon more so the system of the angels and demons a lot more. And specifically, the standing of Lucifer, because that to me I thought was too much in the dark. As a character, he's really just obscure and vague, and we don't know how he came into power. Like apparently, okay, well Satan left. I guess the next in line was Lucifer. Like really, so like wow is the case. Like is he like the most powerful demon, second to Satan? You know, something like that. The same thing goes for Gabriel and Zeus. Also, if you didn't notice in the last episode, when the gods came down, there was a dude that had like a trident, who I think was Poseidon. I'm not too sure about that. But this also goes along with the whole system part of this series too. When you take a look at the angels, it's not just the angels, it's also like other gods or other parts of like mythology that are incorporated with the angels, that are incorporated with heaven in of itself, the realm of light. When it comes to the demons have like a whole slew of dudes. And you have also the fallen angels, because Lucifer and Azazel, they're like fallen angels. But Beelzebub and Satan, they were like something else. Like they weren't fallen angels, like they were like demons. So this is something that I feel like it needed a little more attention, and it needed a little more explanation. The breakdown of these systems involving angels and demons and heaven and hell and whatever, and then like their main metropolises, their cities, if you want to call it that. I don't know if that's actually a word or not, but I used it, whatever. So that I think needed a little more detail, because it actually gives us a better framework as to how these structures are run. So overall, the animation has been very good. Very good animation, very crisp, very smooth, as always, as usual, no doubt about it. And honestly, when it comes to animation alone, one of the best in this entire year. When it comes to pacing, it's well paced. There are a few things that are iffy that are thrown in there that I think are forced. Like again, you have the fact that random pocket space, and there's some forest dragon there just chilling. Like, dude, like apparently like this guy was like minding the flowers and trees and shit, and all of a sudden, here you guys are. He removes the bard from his claw. So by that standpoint, you can tell that Favreau, he is like the chosen one, because almost like some like Alexander the Great type of shit, where you have the sword in the rock and only he can pull it out, or some shit like that. Well, Favreau, bard, only he could pull it out, so he was the chosen one, obviously. And honestly, like to me, that also should have been depicted better. Where yes, Favreau has very good character interaction with Kaiser and Amira, and his characterization is actually very good in and of itself. But his connection with Bahamut specifically was in the dark. Like, why was he the chosen one? Was that because Bahamut, like, was there something going on there specifically? I don't know. So there are some things that are still left in the dark. But overall, when it came to what it set out to do, this series came out with a certain narrative and notion that was going to be achieved at the end of this damn story. And that was Bahamut being defeated or sealed again by the Chosen One. And initially, it seemed like the Chosen One was Amira. No, winds up being Favreau. And in fact, Amira has to die in order for him to actually complete his destiny of being the chosen one. And in fact, I mean, honestly, like, you can actually correlate that with the ending theme song, My Destiny. It starts off with that, My Destiny, like that shit. So, you know that from Jump Street, that's going to be the way things end off, all right? It's not going to end off with freaking, with Bahamut wastelanding the entire damn Earth, and then he just flies off somewhere. Like, no, it's not happening. But when it comes to certain details and specifics, it is lacking in some parts, but it makes up for it with the phenomenal character interaction and characterization of some of these characters, fantastic world building, and overall just awesome characters. Favaro Leone, I think, is one of my favorite characters of all time. I'm not joking when I say that. I'm saying one more time. Favaro Leone, in my personal opinion, is one of my favorite characters of all time. Anime and manga, period. I fucking love Favaro. He's cool as shit. He's so fucking cool. He cuts off his best friend's arm just so they can seal this dude. And he poses in front of him. He poses in front of him like, yeah. I'm like, what the? Come on now. Oh. And he does it so, I want to say casual, but he does it in like a joking way. Like, I'm serious as fuck right now, but I'm not. I don't know what the word is, but there's a word for it. I'm missing it right now, but whatever. Overall, these last 4 episodes, episode 10, 11, they should be amazing. Episode 9 is going to be a great. Episode 12 is a yo. It's a yo. They end that shit off perfectly, in my personal opinion. So, that being said, when you overlook the small details that could have been explained better, or that could have been explained, period, the series does end off very strong, in my personal opinion. Very strong. Too strong. So, King Lady, these are my thoughts. I'm going to do an overview of the entire series of Shingeki no Bahamut at some point. So, rate the video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the overview. Have a nice one.